All right, guys. So welcome to this live session here with your host, Dre Day FX. So as we do every day of the week, we're looking at the market, Forex, indices, and metals. This is the New York session. We had the London session this morning. Had a great call. So let's get on to it. So we were in a buy on German 40. So it went back down, range a little bit back up here. And right now we have US 500 buy right now at 9. So let's look into it here. So we did have CPI today. So there was negative news on CPI overall. So it was 0.2%, and we were expecting 0.3%. But the previous month, I think it was 0.1. But overall, even though it's the forecast is higher than the actual, it's still good numbers. So it's how you have to interpret the information. So still bullish on that. So let's look at US 30. So US 30, it did went down. Nasdaq, see Nasdaq. So Nasdaq give you a buy already. They give you a buy at 8:15. So 15 minutes before the news event, and it was bullish. Hey Leon, hope you have a great session here overall. Tell me, how was your session this morning? I know you were looking at Euro JPY. Unfortunately, we had the German that lost, but that's all good. We're still in the game, and we'll continue. So let's look at gold. So since we had 2 losses in a row, we're gonna sit on our hands for this session and reset tomorrow morning. Especially since there were some news, market will react funny within the next 30 minutes. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe there will be a continuation with the indices in the upside, but we will see. Yeah, ROGPY got 5-minute sell set up, but hit my stop loss. Hit my stop loss. Also, your hit stop loss. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, trading, please make my account. It's all good. We have to make the account great again, for sure, for sure, for sure. So that's why we have to sit on our hands and see what's going on in the market. Because I was looking for a buy, and it went towards my stop loss and started reversing. So we'll see exactly what it wants to do, because I was expecting to go towards this fair value gap here. but we were out of the game. We don't want to chase anything, so it's all good. So for this session here, we're just gonna sit on our hands and look at what happened. But let's look at your Euro JPY trade, because you said that you took a sell. On the 5 minute, let's look at that. No, POC is a buy. Yeah, so that's exactly what I was saying here. So took a sell here. So there was a 5 minute sell, but we were going up. Yeah, so basically did we call that move a turtle soup. So we may start to go down right now. But on the higher time frame, if we look at the 15 minutes, on the 50 minute, you did have a buy setup here. So maybe the time frame that you're trading, Leon, maybe it's not suited for you. Depending exactly on the pair. But your JPY most of the time is sometimes going to move a lot at London, but mostly Asian is a good setup. But I think you already did you had a setup on Euro JPY way before London? I think so. No, maybe it was with something else. But let's open. Yeah, so POC was giving you a sell right here, then consolidated. So that's why I think at the London session I told you that it started to consolidate. Maybe it's gonna start to go up, and that's exactly what it did. So basically, that was basically a fake out here. So, but if you saw that, I would have taken that trade, but it's all good. It's all good. We live and we learn. In SRP, we yeah, XRP will pump. So as long as you're investing in something, that's the most important thing, right? So we don't want to like just trade every single day neither. So we just have to sit on our hands and see exactly what's going on. Let's see here. I'm just gonna put this. So that was buy. So right now we have SSP 500 buy on this indicator here, but I doubt it's going to start. It's going to continue going up, but we'll see. The news did a wick here, so maybe they stopped taking liquidity here at the top here to start to go down. So we'll the next setup here should be a sell. So we're waiting for a sell here on SSP 500. Let's look at the so NASDAQ here. NASDAQ is a buy too. So waiting for a sell setup. On US 30, I'm waiting for a sell setup form since way back down here. So it needs to go down because there's a gap here that needs to be filled. So we'll see what what type of setup they want to do to get there. So, and we have German. Pretty sure it's wants to start to go down. So right now it really did a consolidation here, started to go up, but it's gonna go down eventually. All right, so EuroJPY last week I profitable setup. The week not big move or COT. So consolidation, yeah. Yeah, there was not a lot of big movement here on the community of traders stats overall. So the only thing that we had was British pound for this week. So I would only focus on the British pound. Maybe GBP JPY has maybe some setups. So let's look at GBP JPY. I was going to add it here. GBP JPY. All right. So boom. Yeah, GBP JPY was looking good here. So let's go on we had a buy here. Just gonna go on a 5-minute chart because that's the time frame that you're trading on. Still loading here. No, we didn't have any setup on GJ, so I'm pretty sure that that buy was way down there. Yeah. So we had a buy here since last Tuesday, and it's still going up. So I'm going to look at all of the GBP pairs to see exactly what's happening. So let's look at GBP CAD. It's still loading here. No, don't work here for some reason. Let's see. Let's look at GPAUD. GPAUD on a 5-minute. You had a setup here. Did it went to your stop loss? Yeah, almost before that moved down. Let's look at GBP CHF. CHF. So Some reason, let me refresh my page. Right, let's see. There you go. So GP Swiss here. Yeah, that was at the Asian session. Hit TP3 on the T right here. Started to reverse. So that was on the 15-minute chart. So let's look at the 5-minute. Oh, I'm not even on the right pair. 2 seconds. The Swiss. For some reason it's not loading. I'll check on it here afterwards. All right. Let's look at Forex. GCAD, GBP, ZT. Let's look at GBP, ZT. GBP had had it set up here. And let's look at POC. So we did have a sell here on Thursday. Now it's going down. And let me look at something here. Just going to switch something on my settings and see how it is. Okay. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right. So let's go back. Just want to see something here. Yeah, give me a sell here. So to take the current time frame breakout of the 30-minute. Oops. Let's exit out here. Perfect. Got it. Perfect. So what time is it right now? So we still have less than 10 minutes left before the market will open. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, Leon, in regards to Euro JPY, if you had like, did you have like good data in regards to Euro JPY for this week in regards to COT? Even though we didn't had it in big movers or what is it called? The pairs. I don't think if I look at my notes, let me pull up my notes here for COT. Let's see here. Yen compared to euro. The two of them were down, so it was neutral, but yen, based off of the actual difference between 1 week to another, yeah, one was a little bit stronger than euro. So that means that euro, we should be looking for a sell. That's exactly what you took, but I think the sell setup is not basically set up yet for this pair. So it may start to go down eventually. So right now it's doing basically a higher low right now. If you look, I'm still on that 5-minute chart. So you had a big pump on the upside, then started to go down. If you had put a fib from the last swing high, so that'll be this one here. So I'm just gonna remove this and this so we can see. Perfect. What is that? All right, so we put a fib from here to here. All right. So you can see that the price went towards the 61.8 off of that last swing. So based off of that, from basically since yesterday until this morning, you should be looking for long here on your JPY. Yeah, I know it's not a big mover, but even though it's not in the list, okay. If you follow the COT that I showed you, yes, it's not in the list. It's two downs, so it's two downs for the bias, and it's not more than 3,000 position in difference. Okay, but what you could look for is is there any, even though it's less than 3,000 in difference, you can see the euro futures compared to the yen futures, which one has a bigger move. Okay, so for this week, euro, let me pull it up here. So the euro here was so the difference in contract from 1 week to another was 1,700 no, sorry, 172 contracts. Okay, so there was a difference only of 172 contracts. And for yen, the difference was 1,280. Okay, so if we look only at those two currencies based off of the numbers, the yen has a bigger order difference than the euro. Okay, so that means that the yen will be moving more than the euro. Now, knowing exactly that, we don't know exactly the buys for that week, right? So we should be only be looking at the futures contract of the yen, and same thing for the euro. That's exactly that's right. So if you look at those two numbers, you could see which one has a bigger movement than the other one. That's how you have to look at it. So that's a little bit deeper in commitment of traders analysis that I'm showing you right now. So even though it's not in the list, you're still able to trade each pair every week. Okay. So, but the thing is that since you don't have an actual bias, if they're going down based off of the COT, you just have to look at the numbers, those two numbers, so the euro and the yen numbers, and then you just have to look at the futures market for euro and the future market for yen, and you're gonna see a correlation of which one is stronger than the other one. Okay, so based off of that, for example, for today, based off of what we had for Euro JPY, that means that at that point when we had the fib, the euro was getting stronger and stronger compared to the yen. So if we look at, I'm gonna put it here. Let's look at yen. Put the JPY. So you have to look at the Japanese yen's futures. No, not this one. Just gonna look at the other one here. So if you look at the yen's futures, and we're going to put it on the 5 minute, on the 15 minutes, so that way we have some more data. So as you can see, the yen futures starting on Tuesday was going down. So I'm just going to remove the just going to remove this. We don't need this. We're just only looking at the price action. Okay. So only by looking at the futures market for the currencies, you see that from this point here, that was Monday, April 28th, the yen was going down. All right. Now, what you need to look for is the euro. So euro futures, let me, I'm just gonna make sure that I have the right one. Euro futures, I'm gonna use the second one here. Oh, not this one. Let's see. Euro futures, that. Not this one. I know there was a feed for Euro futures, and it's not one of those. For some reason, it's not there. For the multi-gun, Euro, oh no, it's one of those three. No, not this one. So let's look at the March, May. So you see here since today, May, even though I don't have the right feed, but it's going to give you some information here. Since May 12th at Asian session at it says here 10:30. No, sorry, that was yeah 10:15. So 10:15, it started to go up. So let's go back on our Euro JPY chart. Euro JPY chart. Boom. So we said on the 12th at 10:15. Okay, so 10:15 is when? So 10:15 is Monday, 10:15. So let's put a line, vertical line at the 10:15. Boom. So 10:15, we had a change of behavior in your futures, okay, on euro, the euro futures, and the yen was still going down at that point. And as you could see, the price on euro yen started to go up because we had bullishness on euro, but yen was still going down. So that's how you have to look at the actual market to if you're using the futures market. So that's how the forex market is set up. So you have to look at the futures market, and based off of the futures market, you make your decision off of those information. So if you're trading euro and yen, make sure that you pull up the yen futures and the euro futures, because those markets is what is creating euro yen. Okay, so this is how you have to break down everything. So is that clear, Leon? So make sure that you have all of the futures market here open. I think I already showed you that before, but maybe you forgot to look at it. But every currency pair has their futures market, and based off of that, you make your decision of if you're going long or short off of the actual forex, so the combined currencies. So let me know if you understood that. So that's the reason why the euro yen went up. Yeah, but you still have to look at, like I said, you still have to look at the futures market. Okay, so that'll give you some extra confluence of if you want to take that trade or not. So I will start to do that again, and I'll pull up the futures market in my watch list, so y'all can understand how everything works. Because the forex market is basically a combination of the futures market from one currency to the other. So if there's a reaction on one currency's futures and the other one doesn't align with that movement, this is what it will react to and do a push up or push down, depending exactly on which currency is on the left side. Okay, so since the euro is on the left side, the euro is more dominant than the yen because the yen is on the right side of that forex pair. So as long as if the euro is going up and the yen doesn't have any momentum going in the same direction, you're gonna have that reaction that you saw here since 10:30 yesterday, because the euro was pushing higher and yen was still going down with little to no momentum. So that's why euro won, and it's aligning with your fib and all that stuff. And now right now it's doing a higher low here. So waiting for if you're waiting for a sell setup, you may have you may get it eventually here. I think the next cycle here on the 5 minute, it may be a buy. So if you don't have the buy, if the buy is already there, you just have to wait for a sell. Yeah, perfect. So let's so it's 9:38. Let's see how the market is going here for the indices. So let's look at US 30. Start with that. Just gonna open this. And also I'll make the modification here in regards to my settings, because it seems that the current time frame for the signals are more reliable than the higher time frame. So I'll make the adjustments here in regards to signals and automation. So that will be perfect. So we did had a sell here because I was waiting for a sell on the higher time frame. We didn't get it, but right now we had a sell. So since I think when the yeah, so that was at 6:30, 6:45. So market is starting to go down. Let's look at the Nasdaq. So Nasdaq, we're still bullish here on Nasdaq since way down here, right here, and waiting for a bearish movement. Same thing for SSP 500. We had a buy here on Wednesday, still valid. And let's look at the German. Let's see exactly what is going on here. Yeah, so German, we had a sell right here, still going down. So yeah, see, so the settings that I have here is more reliable. I'm just gonna make the adjustments here. So for now, we're just waiting for a buy on German. Let's look at Euro USD. if we had a buy setup here. So we had a sell here. Still waiting for that buy. GU. Still waiting for that current buy setup. Did had a good sell here on Monday, London. So that was perfect. And let's look at DXY. Yeah, so DXY we had a buy here since Sunday. So when the news from the tariffs from the US started, so still in the buy setup here, even though the DXY is pushing down. And let's look at the XRP. So XRP is going back up. So yesterday, I think this morning we were at $2.40 something cents, if I remember. No, at the New York session yesterday, we were going down. Yeah, exactly. So we were around that. Yeah. So now it's pushing up. So right now it's doing a higher low. So we may have a leg going down here. So, and Bitcoin at London, we're at 100 and at 102, I think. So now it's at 103. So going up. Perfect. So if you have any questions, put them in the chat. And if it's the first time seeing my live, we do live sessions here every weekdays, Monday to Friday, in regards to New York session from 9 a.m. until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we do have two London sessions here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 2 a.m. until 4 a.m. So that means that tomorrow morning we will have a London session from 2 to 4 and another New York session from 9 till 11. So let's look at what's happening tomorrow in regards to the news. So today we had CPI, core PPI, and PPI month to month. So compared to last month's data, it was good numbers, because last month for core PPI was at let's see here, 0.1%, and this month is at 0.2%. And for the PPI month to month, last month was 0.1%, and this month is at 0.2%. So good all around. So let's look at what's going to happen tomorrow in regards to news. We do have the German president that will speak at 4:15, and we have German final CPI month to month at 2 a.m. So right when we're gonna do our live session. So make sure that you look at those news here. So we have a lot of German news tomorrow. So we have the German 30-year bond auction tentative, and other than that, the rest is US based, but it's FOMC's members speaking. So we have multiple members speaking tomorrow, and we have the crude oil inventory at the 10:30. So if you're trading crude oil, make sure to look at movements around that time at 10:30. So the inventory is really important on that. So other than that, we should have a smooth selling session tomorrow morning in regards to London and New York too. So thanks for the session. All right, perfect. Goodbye, Leon, and have a great holiday. I know you have a vacation, so we'll reconvene on Monday. No problem. So that's perfect on that. So let's see if we had any continuation in regards to trades. So we are still bullish here in regards to the indices. I'm just gonna zoom in. Yeah. So we still have a continuation here from 9:30. So we have a new candle that's forming. So dollar is going down. Let's look at German. Yeah, perfect. So perfect, guys. So since there's no alerts at this time, I think we're gonna close it out. We're gonna reconvene here tomorrow morning at the London session. Like I said, it's from 2 a.m. until 4 a.m. And we're gonna have a New York session too. So that's perfect. So on that note, guys, I wish you a great rest of your day and happy trading. And we'll reconvene on to tomorrow morning. All right, peace.